It's today Wednesday.
Today is Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday. Wow, the week's flying by.
All day.
Look, we're matching blue on blue.
Nice.
It's funny because we get up and we kind of go our own separate ways in the morning in terms of what we're doing, and we come together. And I always check out to see what he's got on.
I never noticed.
And this morning I said, "We're matching." Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Human Empowerment Experience. We are here with a kettlebell training with RKC certified kettlebell trainer, David Hills.
My lovely assistant, Coach Kendra McLaughlin.
And I am the trainee. So you'll see me asking the questions that you may want to ask. By the way, if you have questions, in terms of the workout, go ahead and message us below. Any questions that you might have about kettlebell workout, maybe I always used to think it was weird, kettlebell. I just didn't understand what that thing was. So if you have, there's no dumb question. And ask away, because if you don't ask, you'll never know, and then it'll always be a question in your mind. So speaking of minds, this morning I'm talking about changing your mind, and I'm not talking about changing your mind. I'm actually talking about changing your brain. How many of you are in a situation, maybe you've started your own business, maybe you're working at a job, maybe you're in a relationship, doesn't really matter, but how many of you are in a situation that you want to change one thing or another, and you've been trying all kinds of things, and it just hasn't, you're still repeating the same thing over and over again? Did you know that you can actually change the reality of your life, your future, by what you think in your brain? So here's what's happening. We are learning a lot about Joe Dispenza, and I've heard of Joe Dispenza. I heard about him at the beginning of the year, but I've never really looked into what he was talking about. And what he's talking about is that we create our own reality with what we have, not just in our mind. So it's not just about the thought, but it's also about the emotion about the thought. So, and I've actually done that without even thinking about it. I've manifested, as people will call it, my business that I have now, an online coaching business that I thought up in my mind about 3 years ago, had it in my heart and in my emotion. I didn't know how it was going to happen. And it literally, my business partner fell in my lap. Not literally. I wasn't holding her like a baby. But the opportunity came to me, and I had a decision to make at that point. As scary as it was, just met this person, and she said, "Hey, why don't you become part of my coaching team?" And I made the decision to say yes. Right? So that was manifested to me. That was in my mind like 3 years ago. And I'm doing exactly what I had in my mind today. I'm doing exactly and more. That's the thing. It's even more. So as I'm learning more and more about how our thoughts and emotions create our reality, it's really, really super interesting to me. And so David and I are on a quest as a power couple. And Brenda, I think Brenda is here. Is she on there? Redhead Audio yet?
I do not see Miss Redhead Audio.
Anyway, her and her husband are also a power couple. But anyway, what we are on a quest to do is to take the teachings of Joe Dispenza and implement in our own lives, and make it work for ourselves and create our own life the way we want to create it. It's a lot of work. It's a daily practice all day long. It's about changing how you're thinking about your past, about things that have happened to you, and it's about creating a whole new reality for yourself. And I know for some of you who haven't heard this kind of talk, it probably seems weird and way out there, but it's really not. And to us anyway, because it's happened. I've done it before without even realizing I had done it.
Once you've done it a few times, it turns you into a believer.
And so if you're stuck in your life, or you're in your life and you're trying to make certain changes and you're wondering why you keep doing the same thing over and over again, then maybe you need to try something different with how you're thinking about your future and how you're feeling when you get up in the morning about your life and about your future. Does that make sense? So we'll talk a little bit more about this as we go along throughout the week. Super interesting stuff. Because we aren't stuck in the lives that we're living now if we don't want to be. You've heard the old saying, "Oh, this is the way it is. This is what life handed to me." No, it isn't the way it is. You can change that. No matter what has happened to you, no matter what you've done, you can change your life to create the life and the happiness and joy that you really want. I truly believe that because I'm doing it. We're doing it, both of us. And so we are a product of what we are doing in our own lives. But this morning, what we're doing, and kettlebell training is sort of the same thing. It's training our brains to work our bodies in a different way than that we've ever worked before.
That's true.
Right? So as we do the moves that David is teaching us, and we do them in the correct fashion, it's training our brains to remember those moves. And as we move through our day, every day, and do those normal things, our brains are automatically going to do those normal things the right way, like lifting things, moving, all those things that we do, taking the groceries in from the car. And you're less likely to get injured, and you're more likely to be able to do more things as you get older. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
So we're going to get ready. We're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, and you can start changing the way you do things right now by joining us.
Come on up off the couch.
Get up off the couch, put your coffee down. If you're in your car, you can pull over. For anybody getting arrested for being on the side of the road doing funky things.
Well, one of our people, Mendy, she was took a trip across the country, and she did the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Every rest area, she had a list, and every rest area she'd stop and get out and do jumping jacks and burpees, and
we're gonna do that.
It was an amazing idea.
Yeah, we're going to Tennessee for Thanksgiving to visit my business partner and good friend, and we're gonna do the same thing.
Indeed. All right.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it.
So we're gonna do the regular hops that we do. If you have not tried this,
regular hops.
if you have not tried this yet, oh my God, this is like cake to me. It's like having cake for something. That's how good it feels. We're just dropping your shoulders down, relaxing, getting rid of any kind of tension that you might have felt when you woke up this morning. We're changing our molecular body and our brains, and we're going to have a positive, good day today. Doing the same type of thing, bending the knees a little bit and just loosening our shoulders and arms and just flicking, like you're flicking water off your hands. I always think of the airport. Because every time I go to the airport and wash my hands, there's no paper towels. And I don't like those other things. So I'm doing this in the bathroom to get the water off. This feels good, great, as well. So we're bending. And you just want to be careful you're not torquing your knees when you're bending over this way, but this will get your nice side stretch here. All your cells jumping up and down, and happy for starting off your day in a fantastic way. These are one of my favorites, heart openers. So what's cool about this is we're also tapping our body. And if you don't know about tapping, you need to look it up. It's a Qigong exercise, and it's basically you start from your ankles all the way up to your head and your face, and you tap your body. And as we open up, we're going to think about what we are grateful for today. Gratitude keeps us in the present time. And that means we're not worrying about the future or thinking about the past. We are here in the present time, enjoying some head rolls to the right Nice and gently, just waking up our body, not doing anything major. Make sure you're breathing through this. You want to regulate your breath as you inhale and exhale through these moves. And as we breathe, we want to make sure that we're breathing down into our abdominal as well, not just your chest. You can really feel the difference when you're breathing into your abdominal area.
And steeple your fingers, interlace your hands, reach way up, shift left, lean right.
This is a great stretch, and you can use your bottom arm. I'm using my right arm to pull my left arm over just slightly. Get that nice side stretch here. I could stay here for a while. It feels good. We're going to exhale down to the left. Again, get that nice stretch on the side of your body. Breathing in and out. We're going to inhale back up to the top. Exhale with your hands down. All right, so we're going to do some move it or lose it moves, as I call them. Hip circles. Move it or lose it, baby. As you get older, I say that every day, but it's so true. You need to give your body a rest, but you can do these every day, every morning. You can do any of these warm-up exercises just to get your body warmed up for the day. You don't have to do any major. We don't really work out on the weekends. We are active typically. We'll go for a walk or a hike or something of that sort, but we don't do any kettlebell or big heavy workouts on the weekend in order to give our body a rest. But you certainly can do these warm-ups every single day. And then we're going to go down to the knees, do a knee circle. And you can incorporate your feet here at this point. So I have my feet lifted up as we go around. So I'm moving my knees and my feet. Boy, that feels good on my feet. And as you notice, David and I do kettlebell workout with no shoes. We don't want any shoes. And it's same thing with your yoga practice. You just want to be able to feel the ground. You want to be able to connect to the ground with your toes and your feet. You do a lot of gripping with your toes with kettlebell, and you can't do that if you have something. All right, let's see who we have here with us this morning. We have Cheryl Cody. She's new with us. Michelle Wyman. Brianna Hill. Brianna Hill is Kat's best friend.
Oh,
and
nice.
Her parents live right up the road from Mom.
Oh, nice.
On Elm Hill in South Paris.
Nice.
Hi, Brady. Good to see you. We went to see Kat a couple of weeks ago, and she's doing great. Mm-hmm. We have my friend Craig. Good morning, Craig. And we have a new person, Margot 163 on Instagram. All right, cool.
All right, so shall we grab our kettlebell?
Yeah, I think we're ready. Here.
All right, kettlebell between your feet. Feet pointed slightly out. Keep your knees stationary. Hold at the hip. Keep your back flat. Seat the shoulders. Drive into the heels and bring the kettlebell up. We're going to start with some swings to warm up.
You boy.
Here we go.
Now we're using our hips to thrust the kettlebell up. Our shoulders are seated. So this, ladies, if you, or guys too, but I'm just speaking to ladies, because this happens to be, our midsection happens to be one of the hardest areas as we get older to keep toned up.
And now go to one hand. We're going to change to the other, alternating single arm swings.
Is like the best core exercise, kettlebell, and swings in particular. Great for the bottom and great for the core.
Now, let's put them down for a moment. So CrossFit
Yeah, we've all
If
heard of,
anybody's ever heard of
yeah,
CrossFit
we've all
before.
heard of CrossFit, right?
CrossFit uses kettlebell.
Oh, they do?
They do. They're responsible for popularizing kettlebell quite a bit in this country.
Oh.
Now, what they do, though, is they don't teach the whole kettlebell curriculum like we do.
Uh-huh.
They use it to do one, maybe two exercises, and that's it. They do a good exercise, but it's only one. We're going to go over that one exercise. It's the swing, but the swing all the way up overhead. They call it the high swing. So it looks like this.
Sounds dangerous.
Now, the benefit, there's a few benefits to it. One of the benefits is that at the top, it really stretches the shoulders and works the lockout position. So don't bend your elbows, lock them, bring it up. If you do this correctly, your arms will brush by both ears and then fold them both forward.
Oh, wow.
As it comes down. Did you see that?
Yeah.
So it'll do it if your arms are fully locked out and close enough together. It's a little bit difficult, but
So am I going to be okay with this?
you can generally do this with a fairly heavy kettlebell.
Okay.
So here we go. We're going to do 10 high swings. Here we go. 1.
Wow. Okay. That wasn't too bad. There was 1 second though that I thought it was going to go through the back.
Got to keep a grip on it.
Now, I have never done that before. That was the first time I've ever done that move.
Yeah.
Here live on Facebook. Okay. It wasn't too bad.
Nope.
I like that one.
Okay. So I want to do 10 minutes of snatch today for our workout.
Okay. I think. So is that, can you show me
Just snatches, 5 on each side,
all the way up?
all the way up, for a total of 10 minutes of training.
I think I'm going to have to go to my smaller one.
Sure. Now, one of the things
What can I do?
is you can start with the snatch and do as many of them as you can. And then when you think, okay, this is too much, change to long cycle, swing to the rack and press. Either way, works fine. Do you hear where the little timer is?
Yes.
The one?
The only thing is I know when we did snatches before, this one was for 10 minutes. It's a long time. So I think I'm going to go down to the smaller one.
That's fine.
I think.
Absolutely.
But I don't want it to be too easy either.
One thing you can do is start with this one, and when you
Exactly.
more.
Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do then. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
right.
so we have the timer set at 10 minutes. The exercise is the snatch. So firing the lower power dynamic is the same. One hand all the way to lockout, all the way to the bottom, all the way to the top. Now, if you haven't done this before, don't try to do 10 minutes of snatch. If you haven't done this before, do go to the website, learn the technique, learn the details.
And that would be the YouTube channel, Sensei David Hills.
Right, Sensei David Hills.
We have beginner videos to learn how to properly swing and do those moves.
Yeah. There's a playlist called Basic Training, which you'll be able to go through and look at the basics of how these techniques function, and then try it after you've got some practice.
And then if you ever want to, and I mentioned this before, but for those who are new here, if you ever want to have David take a look at your form, you can video yourself and send it to David. You can find him on his Facebook, and he will take a look at your form and give you an assessment of what needs to change or what doesn't need to change.
All right, are we ready?
I think so.
Okay. And begin. All the way to lockout. Bring it straight up the midline. I'm bringing it too far outside.
Yeah, you need to go with the smaller.
That's 1 minute. Okay. 2 minutes down. Okay. 3 minutes down. Coming up on the halfway point, folks. There it is. Halfway there. Okay. 3 minutes to go. Okay. 2 minutes. Okay. Last minute. Okay. Change. 15 seconds. Pull it in. Okay.
Wow. That was tough. I didn't actually think I was going to make that. 10 minutes when you're doing something like that is a heck of a long time. 10 minutes. I think when you get to the halfway point, I was like, that's it? But that's when I actually, as soon as I thought that thought, because I have my little person over here on my shoulder going, that's all? We've only done, 5 minutes? What I did was I kicked in my other voice and I said, I turned it around and I said, wow, we're halfway through. That's amazing. And what that did in my mind was gave me the extra power to be able to finish it. I didn't let my mind, the little person in my mind, stop me from continuing all the way to the end. And when you get used to hearing those things in your head, when you get used to hearing those, that's when you can actually stop what you're thinking and change it around and literally say the opposite of what that thought was. And that's how you change your brain. That's how you change your thinking. If you're always negative, if you're, things come up and you're mad or politics or whatever, COVID or whatever it is, change it around. You change it around to a positive thought, and it works. I'm telling you, it changes your whole day. What were you going to say?
I was going to say people don't understand today. Mostly, they don't understand the difference between their thinking and their feelings. It's one thing to think something different. It's another thing to feel different.
Yeah, so they have to go in conjunction with each other.
You're not going to make shit happen in your life until you change not just the way you think, but the way you feel.
Yeah. Emotion,
that's the hard part.
The emotion is the actual energy. That's the thing.
That's right. It's the motive force.
And whatever you're focusing on for energy, whether it be positive energy or negative energy, is what's going to happen in your life. That's where the energy comes from, is from the emotion. First, you have to think it, because everything starts with a thought, and then the emotion of what you're thinking of is the energy that propels you forward.
You have to be grateful for it having it already have happened, even though it hasn't yet.
And that's the hard part.
Try that on for size.
Yeah, and not worry about that it hasn't happened. So,
except that
having said that, that was a fantastic workout. 10 minutes.
Marvelous.
You used to really have weight. Oh my God, I'm impressed. I had to go down to my lower weight, but it doesn't matter. I still did a great workout. I didn't overexert myself in terms of getting injured, so I'm happy. It's a win-win-win today. Triple win. Let's see who else we have here, just for the heck of it. If anybody knew.
Tina Thompson.
Tina Thompson Colby. She was my neighbor. You remember when we stopped to see the mountains on the way to Mom's house?
Yeah.
That house that I told you? That's where she was.
Oh, nice.
We were just at your old house, Tina.
Amy Johansson.
And we looked across. It happened to be a nice clear day. I was on the way to visit my mom. Mountains in the distance.
Oh, yeah.
And it was amazing because you can't always see that from that view. And I said, my friend that I grew up with and went to school with lived in that house right there.
Nice.
So anyway, we're just talking about you. So happy to have you on with us. And we're just sending out love, joy, peace, and happiness to all of you in our audience today and in the world today. Special healing energies for those of you who are suffering, in that you may find some peace in your day. I hope everybody has a fantastic day today. It's up to you, really. You make your day the way you want to make it. You can either choose to be angry and all that, or you can choose to be happy and with joy. Don't wait to get that new car or that new house or that new outfit to be happy. You can be happy right now.
That's
so much to be grateful
if you want to get it.
That's right. Thank you for joining us.
Have a good day, folks.
Have a fantastic day. Bye, guys. Have a great day, everybody.